Going back to school hasn't looked this uncertain in a long time. The COVID-19 pandemic has thrown a major wrench into daily life, and it still remains unclear when public schools and colleges will reopen. There's also a chance they may have to shutter their doors temporarily in the future to manage any flare-ups. No matter what lies ahead, your student life will center around your laptop, whether you're attending remote classes, writing reports, or researching online. And don't forget to leave a little bit of room for fun. You'll also want a device that'll be great for streaming video and maybe playing the occasional game or two. The big difference this year is that you'll need to do a lot more research ahead of time, since there's a good chance you won't be able to test devices out in person. For most people, an ultra-portable will be an excellent choice. And the good news is, they're better than ever. They're no longer slow with minimal storage and short battery lives. Now, thanks to better processors, faster storage, and refined designs, you can get a thin and light laptop that'll easily keep up with you for years. If you've been following our reporting, none of this should be a surprise. Ultra-portables like Dell's XPS 13, HP's Spectre X360, and Apple's 13-inch MacBook Pro have been some of our favorite devices. Intel's 10th generation processors are widely available now and promise faster speeds, better power efficiency, and vastly improved graphics over last year's machines. With these chips, you can even get a bit of basic gaming done. But things are even more interesting in 2020 thanks to AMD's new Ryzen chips, which deliver even better multi-core performance and graphics power than Intel's hardware. While AMD laptops used to be relegated to the bargain bin, now they include impressive options like the 15-inch Surface Laptop 3 and Asus's ROG Zephyrus G14. You might also want to look at convertible ultra-portables like Dell's XPS 13 2-in-1 or HP's Spectre X360, which feature rotating screens at a slight premium. They can be used as enormous tablets if you want, and can be handy for note-taking with a stylus or sketching with a teammate. These machines are not as light as normal clamshells, but they're a bit more versatile for anyone who wants to get their keyboard out of the way. In general, when you're buying a laptop this year, you'll want to get something with Intel's 9th or 10th generation CPUs or AMD's Ryzen 4000 line. Avoid anything more than 2 years old if you want your computer to last for a while. You'll also want at minimum 8 gigs of RAM, although 16 gigs of RAM is preferable for most people so your laptop doesn't hiccup while multitasking. If you expect to save a lot of files to your computer rather than rely on a cloud-based service, make sure to look for an SSD with at least 512 gigs of storage. Anything less will have you deleting files like crazy in just a year just to keep up with your download needs. Look for something with at least 10 hours of battery life too. Most good ultra-portables easily meet this number these days. Skip a 4K screen upgrade. Your eyes won't really notice a difference, plus the dip in battery life isn't worth it. But if you can afford it, notebooks with OLED displays that support HDR will make your Netflixing or photo editing look so much better. Those studying multimedia, working with 3D renders, or editing 4K videos will need a lot more power. These students should consider powerhouses like the 16-inch MacBook Pro or the Dell XPS 15. Beefier machines like these tend to come with larger cases and screens to house their bigger CPUs and GPUs. With the extra room, they also generally offer more ports and connections, which will save you the trouble of having to bring around a USB hub. With these machines, you'll want to keep an eye out for Intel's 9th or 10th generation H-series CPUs or AMD's Ryzen 4000 series. You'll also want a discrete graphics card. Look for NVIDIA's GTX 1650, 1660 Ti, or AMD's RX 5500M at the minimum. If you need extra graphics muscle for more serious gaming, consider upgrading to an NVIDIA RTX 2060 or 2070 GPU. Your notebook should also offer at least 16 gigs of RAM. Gamers will likely want a laptop that can keep up both at work and at play. And the good news is there continue to be plenty of powerful options that are thin and light enough to lug to school. Notebooks like the Razer Blade 15 and Alienware M15 deliver pretty much the same power as a desktop from a few years ago. Though you can find decent options in 13-inch gaming laptops, you'll probably want to stick to 15 or 17-inch sizes. Not only do these larger screens offer a more immersive gaming experience, They also tend to offer better performance for the price. Smaller gaming notebooks like the Blade Stealth cost far too much for what it offers, and it's only slightly lighter than the more capable and often cheaper Blade 15. A better alternative is Asus's Zephyrus G14, a powerful and surprisingly affordable notebook that weighs just 3.5 pounds. It has a roomy 14-inch screen and is one of the first machines to run AMD's new Ryzen 4000 CPUs. You'll want to pay special attention to screen refresh rate in a gaming laptop. The faster the rate, the smoother high frame rate playback will look. If you're getting a machine with a top-of-the-line GPU like NVIDIA's RTX 2080, you'll want the highest refresh rate you can get. And at the very least, get something with a 120Hz screen, which is a nice upgrade from the standard 60Hz. Make sure to look for a generous array of ports to connect all your accessories with, too. Not everyone needs a super powerful machine. In fact, some people really just need something to fire up a browser and run Gmail, Google Docs, and Netflix on. For these folks, a Chromebook can be a suitable and affordable option. Before you go and switch to Chrome OS though, make sure you are 100% certain you'll never need editing apps or desktop class software. Since you can't really get your hands on a machine right now to see if you like the keyboard or the screen, make sure you're shopping at a store with an easy and generous return policy. It may feel strange thinking about going back to school amid the pandemic, but at least if you're armed with a trusty laptop, you'll feel better equipped to handle your course load, homework, and the troubles plaguing the world. Now that you have a better idea of what to look out for when researching what laptop to buy, make sure to subscribe to Engadget for our in-depth reviews on MacBooks, Surface laptops, and other notebooks from Dell, HP, Asus, and a whole lot more. And as always, thank you for watching.